So Teddy Atlas does not believe that, or at least in this article, from a snippet from the Lex Friedman podcast, think that Mike Tyson was ever a great fighter. Let's break that down. Welcome back to the channel. This is Boxing Unwrapped. Again, if you're new here, please subscribe, share, comment below. Any suggestions, appreciate it. Now, this has been going on for years, folks. This is not a new thing. Teddy Atlas has been on record basically always downplaying Iron Mike Tyson's achievements in the ring. In the past, he has been cited, on video, basically attributing Mike Tyson's success to the fear that he placed in people's hearts, where it made the other fighter not be at their best. So he always said maybe Mike Tyson has won 1 to 4 rounds in his entire life. Basically because everything else is just through fear. In this article, which is again snippets from the Lex Friedman podcast on BoxingScene.com, which is the article that I'm referencing, that I got the snippets from, he says that, which is also proving the point counter in my eyes. He's saying Mike Tyson, he don't think anyone has ever had it all together like Mike Tyson. He doesn't think that no one has ever probably been better than Mike Tyson at punching with both hands, with hand speed, with killer instinct, athleticism, having the whole package together. But he says he doesn't think he was great because he never had to be great to overcome adversity. He says maybe the Leon Spinks fights was the only fight that he's seen Mike Tyson be great in, where he annihilated him in 90 seconds. Well, I love Teddy because he's always been an advocate for boxing and the boxing commission and fairness. And while I don't know Mike Tyson personally, I don't know if he's a good guy, a bad guy. He was convicted of rape. We have to keep that in mind. We weren't there. Of course, Teddy always has his bias towards Mike Tyson in a negative light, probably because of the history he has had with Mike Tyson, also with the rape situation on his end. But again, we have to look at things objectively as a fighter, right? We're actually analyzing the fighter. Mike Tyson, all those gifts that Teddy actually noted, one had to be honed. It takes greatness to hone natural gifts to the point where it makes you unstoppable. He has fought plenty of top tier fighters and made them look C-class. That's part of being great. It is not Mike Tyson's fault that Michael Spinks, a great fighter, couldn't test him. Heavyweight champion Trevor Berbick couldn't test him. Razor Ruddock gave him a really good run. Gave Mike Tyson some hellacious shots. Tyson took it to the chin. Fought that man twice. Mike Tyson unfortunately suffers from the fact that he was so much better than everybody else. The fear he brought to the ring with him is part of what made him great. It was part of his arsenal. Everybody says it's 10% physical, 90% mental, right? Well, Mike Tyson, if that's the case, was one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time, because that mental ability to take the fight out of a fighter before he even stepped into the ring was and still is real with Mike Tyson. And everybody acknowledges that. Casuals to experts, yes. He put fear in those men, which is part of the mental game, which is part of boxing, which makes him a great. And the ability that came to do that mentally came from his physical assets. So put it all together, in his prime at 19 through 23, because after that his life started falling apart. And listen, his only loss to Buster Douglas at the time, when he was first defeated, he actually knocked out Buster Douglas for 13 seconds, didn't get the win. Had no camp basically in Japan. Got off the canvas when he was waved off. He faced adversity. He basically fought a young man who had all the heart in the world with no camp. Went deep waters, actually knocked that guy out, didn't get the credit. That's another story for another day. But to measure his greatness, we all know that, again, mental capacity to be smart in the ring, to be mental. Mike Tyson did that better than anyone. He knew how to box. He knew how to weave, dodge, slip, and slide. He knew how to jab his way in. And he already, in the power he had in both hands and speed, put fear in those men. Therefore, again, everything he had came together, made him a great fighter. He was a great fighter when we saw him devastate subpar opponents, and he was a great fighter when we saw him devastate top tier opponents later in his life. Drugs, mental health problems that we were not really addressing at that point in time in history, all played into his downfall. And if you think he's not a great fighter, look at Mike Tyson now recently when he exhibition against Roy Jones Jr. That's an old man moving like that. Think about that. Let me know your comments below. What do you think about Teddy Atlas's comments? Did you think that Mike Tyson was ever great? Well, let me know in the comments. I'm out.